pick any number. Scale of 1 to 10. Just shout it out. Just say a number.
A 6.
A what?
A 6.
I think you're a 3.
Welcome back to the Harbor Podcast. We are back for another season of KINO'S summer series. I'm your host, the Kino Cowboy, and look who's finally returned to the fucking cast. I hate to say it, I have to retract my expat statements. Scott is back in the United States, so
he's back in the States, forever expated from my heart.
Welcome back, Scott.
Well, you know what? I don't want to be in your heart, okay? I want to be an expat of your heart.
A lot of cholesterol.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be drowning in bacon grease, okay? Although I did move back to the States, so maybe I did.
Scott's already experienced a week full of school shootings and mass shootings.
That was as soon as I got back.
That's
First day I got back, my mom
America.
and brother were like having an argument, sort of.
But at least we're not the dirty fucking British. So we got that.
I did hang out there, and you know, not a fan.
Sucks. Yeah, it's
not a fan. Yeah, how fucking London.
Yeah, no, London sucked. That's my entire. Actually, it was pretty cool. I just bombed really bad.
No, we're anti-London.
No, we're anti-England.
Yeah,
we're anti-colonizers.
Yeah.
I spent 3 days in London, so I know all of the United Kingdom now. So you know,
I've eaten at an English pub in Epcot, so I know London pretty well.
I've seen the original UK version of The Office.
By the way,
now we're cooking with grease.
Now we're cooking.
How do you guys do that? I want to do that shit.
Yeah, fish and chips. Go to Long John Silver's. I'm on it. I paid like $18 for pounds, like 20 US in that expensive ass city for fish and chips. You know what it tastes like? Fried fish and French fries. That's it. That's all it is. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Go eat tikka masala if you're ever there. Okay.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense. Man,
Studio
masala is good, but anyway, I'm not here to talk about it. Indian.
What
food.
are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about a film called The Way, Way Back. I think it was 2013, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've always been fond of this film. I'm always attracted to summery atmospheric movies. That's why I'm doing this summer series. And
you grew up at a pool, quite literally at a neighborhood pool.
That's also something that really resonates with me in this film. For people that don't know, my grandparents owned a pool, the only pool that people went to in our hometown. It was a private pool, but you know, people had memberships, whatever. It had a decent sized pool, 2 big slides, concession stand, volleyball pit, all that good stuff. But in the center of it was a apartment on top, and then on the bottom was the office and the concession stand stuff. I lived at the top of that, folks, because my grandparents own it and we didn't have to pay rent. So I spent my childhood living in a not a water park, but a smaller version of that. So
yeah, me and you lived there.
We were, you know, you would stand on the balcony in your underwear flirting with Maya Rudolph, like Sam Rockwell in this movie.
You know it.
We had some time, and I have a lot of good memories from there before I even knew you existed, before I knew who you were.
Fun fact about that apartment: I had sex in it before Adrian did.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
Fun fact about that apartment: Adrian's grandparents had sex in it before you did, Casher.
No, they didn't have sex in there. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
No, but
I filmed it.
Yeah, my family, my mom and my brother and sister moved out when I was like turning 19. So Casher and I lived in it for like half of a summer until Casher got kicked out. But it was a whole.
You guys destroyed that place.
It's whatever.
You guys were just like burning effigies in the middle of the carpet as you doing stuff.
Matt Prine threw fucking fireworks in the pool.
Well, you didn't have to name him, but yeah, people threw fireworks in the pool.
Shout out to
the
fucking
July
Matt
party.
Prine for ruining my fucking life. I'm just kidding. I love him.
That's 2 lives you ruined after his own.
That's when we were
Little
getting
rowdy.
a homeless man to buy us liquor and Maumelle, and
You were. I was not part of that.
You benefited from it.
Bro, I didn't really drink at the time. I was more prim and proper.
I don't know. Anyway,
I was getting into anyway, the way back. Let's not get into it.
yeah, I had the year, and it's like I may have grown up in poverty. Hope my mom's not listening to this. May have grown up in poverty, but it could have been a lot worse because I was living in a fucking pool. So during the summer, I had a fun ass time. I met people. Cashier's family was there all the time.
Yep. Oh, like that was my daycare essentially.
Yeah.
For the long, like probably like a decade.
I was born in the pool. I was molded by it. I didn't see outside of Briarwood Swim Club until I was almost a man.
You still smell like chlorine. So.
I perpetually smell like chlorine. I think chlorine had fucked up my insides. Who knows? But so yeah, I've always liked this movie, and that was always the biggest factor for me. And when I was a teenager when I saw it, but now rewatching it as a grown-ass man, I've had some revelations. So yeah, we can get into it, I guess.
Do you relate to it because you're a beta male?
First of all, one of the best things about this movie is that most of the characters just have a good amount of nuance. And that's what I like about them.
Yeah, everybody's kind of got their own fleshed out thing going. Like every person that you meet, it ages. This movie ages really well too. Like the funny thing is, it's like they're almost the main characters, like stepdad. You did that quote at the beginning, like, "What do you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10?" Oh, I think I'm a 6. No, I think you're a 3. Like sets the tone for that entire fucking movie for him.
Right. Steve Carell playing against type. Only 2 years after he left The Office.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy.
Trying to reinvent himself somewhat.
It's so brutal.
It is. That's such a like he's got to know how brutal that is too. But he's so like such like a self fucking absorbed narcissist.
Tough love, man.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Telling it how it is.
I will say this.
Can you imagine that character? What kind of memes and like Facebook quotes he would share?
Like, yeah, there'd be a lot of fucking weird shit.
Be like, "I'm a wolf among sheep." That sort of stuff.
I love that he bought the Oldsmobile that he was like bragging about, the station wagon. That's the same station wagon from Vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same one. It's like the green station wagon. So that always made me laugh.
I wonder if it's actually a secondhand prop. Like they just literally bought it from the studio.
Well, he's like talking all this shit. He's like, "You know how much I spent on this station wagon?" She's like, "You spent so much on a piece of shit." He comes in fucking hot, and it's one of my favorite characters.
And that's the thing, is that every single line of dialogue with Carell's character is important in this movie, and it just stacks on his character, and it builds and builds and builds until it comes crashing down.
Well, that's the thing. This is written and directed by Jim Rash, who in the movie he also plays the weird nerdy dude who's sad all the time at the water park,
which is a funny bit. I like it.
Well, Jim Rash,
and he's the dean in Community.
Yeah, well, he's also got an Oscar. He's got an Oscar for The Descendants, for that writing. So like he's
got an Oscar for what?
The Descendants.
Oh, he wrote on that?
Which is an underrated film. People should watch.
It is an overlooked, underrated film.
Well, Jim Rash is like a master of like dialogue, I think. Like he's really good at writing like just people's
creepily realistic and like detailed characters, because it feels like I met these people on like some vacation a few years ago or something, especially Allison Janney. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Hot.
Allison Janney is my mother, if you guys didn't understand
dude,
that one.
Oh my God, dude.
It's like peak my mother.
Yeah, holy shit.
Why are we not hanging out with your mother more often?
Because she does shit like that.
If I came up to your mother drunk, would you be like, "Casher, I didn't know you brought a strong man for me"?
Yes, my mother has made dick jokes and talked about Adrian's penis in front of him before.
Yeah, she's funny.
Oh, really?
It's all in good humor.
It's all fun and
well, that's kind of weird since he's known Adrian since he was underage.
It's not weird. It's
it's
just like Allison
mom,
Janney's character.
It's just,
some people can deal with that shit. Some people can't. I could deal with it.
She's just a silly drunk mom. Like that's a lot of fun. Love you, mom. If you're
she's lost in the sauce. It's one of those people that's at the fucking beach. That's her lifestyle.
Shit about the step parent or the dad all the time. Like,
I love that.
My mama. This just to comment on the cast. You said Allison Janney. You got a stacked fucking cast for this whole movie. Fucking Tony Collette. I forget Tony Collette's in this.
Yeah, and she's
And
good.
This is pre-Hereditary.
Hereditary, yeah. So it's like it's fun to see that, like Maya Rudolph, Anna Sophia Robb,
And
Sam
Maya Rudolph is
Rockwell.
playing a pretty subdued character compared to a normal.
I
SNL
love her
shenanigans.
character in this. It's a good analog for Sam Rockwell's character, and this might be my favorite Sam Rockwell performance.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a
Yeah,
Me too. I think I agree.
I love it. I love this.
I like
movie. It's
Moon.
one of my
Maybe
top.
that's a Reddit moment, but I
Yeah,
like Moon.
Moon's great too.
It's a
This
fun
is
watch, but
this is Sam Rockwell at like his most charming.
I saw Moon when Movie Gallery was going out of business, and I got a bunch of cheap
Sick.
DVDs.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Movie
I've
Gallery.
seen that movie a lot. But I've seen that movie at least 6
I
times.
can still
Really?
imagine the smell of Movie Gallery just by saying Movie
Yes.
Gallery. I can
Movie
imagine.
Gallery. Fuck
and
me.
that's a nostalgia moment too. I gotta
Cheap
say
enough,
something about
cheaper,
this movie.
cheaper than Blockbuster. That's why we went there.
Exactly.
First time I saw this movie, thought it was okay. Second time I saw this movie last summer when we didn't have time in the summer series to cover it, unfortunately, I was like, fuck this movie. I didn't really like it. And I tried to watch it with more open eyes this time, and it's okay. There's things I
Wow.
like. There's
Uh,
also
Kid-
things I find stupid. and
Kick
annoying.
kick Scott from the podcast, please.
No, I want to
There will
hear
be no
what
diff-
you don't like.
There will
about
be
it.
no differing opinions on the harbor. We are
This
a
is
hive
this is
mind.
it's not quite my Annette, but it's
Yeah,
for you, Casher, hating Annette. But
Fuck on that.
I feel like not stock characters. I feel like some of the characters are a bit two-dimensional in how they're portrayed emotionally, tonally, you know. Steve Carell's character, you say every line's important, but watching this, I kind of get it. Like, we get it. He's an asshole stepfather, you know.
Yeah, but it's not the
it-
same thing every time. You can tell
It's
that.
not- I know it's not the same thing every time. And the main character, I think a lot of this lies on the main actor, the main character, that kid who hasn't been in a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. You don't like him? No, my God. I love
He's
Poppin'
just-
Lock's the shit.
It feels forced, you know.
forced. You not remember being 14?
Dude, I remember being 14, but it's just I don't know, his performance feels kind of forced. I don't know.
Okay.
And the way he's slouching all
Life
the
at
time.
14 when you're not fucking cool feels forced. I don't have that problem. I've never felt that way. But
I mean, I felt that way when I was 14 for sure. I'm not
think,
saying
yeah,
I
I
don't
think
relate to that.
portrayals
It
are
feels
well.
kind of forced. And I feel like the script is prescriptive. It feels inorganic at times in a few scenes, which
Oh,
are
yeah.
relatively minor overall. But we'll get to it as we talk around the movie.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think Duncan is very quiet and awkward and doesn't talk much, and he does that well. And then when he needs to get
Yeah, but
angry,
I don't think having it's a somewhat monotonal character, but not in an interesting way.
well, it's 'cause he's
um,
not interesting. He's a
He's a 3.
He's still trying. Yeah, he's
I would give Duncan a 3.
but it's like he's trying to come into his own.
you're trying to figure this guy out too. You're like, what's
Yeah.
this guy's deal? And
Like he
then
has a
it's-
big
it's
issue.
not
with,
it's
like,
not
his
even
dad
until
leaving. And
it's not until he goes into the water park that you really start to like him. You're like, okay, look at him. He's breaking out of his shell a little bit because he's so quiet. But he's just I don't know. As a vessel, it seems fine because I
As a
remember
vessel?
being well, you know, like I feel like
Because
The
that is
reincarnation
what the
of Jesus
character
Christ.
is.
I can
I wish he was a bit
identify-
less of a vessel.
I know, but just like I think of all the annoying shit that I thought was annoying at 14 at being around certain people. I just wanted to be left alone. Sometimes it's just that time. And sometimes there's that year where you just don't want to talk to anybody and don't want to do anything. I don't understand how adults who were there at one point just can't remember that and just be like, let it happen. Fuck it. Why is it such a big fucking deal? Why you got to make these kids interact with you all the time? Like
Yeah.
people go, teenagers go through phases. Like let it just play
He also
out.
he spends most of his time working at the water park. He doesn't. We see a few dinner scenes and stuff, but he's not. I don't think he's with him all the time. Even
We
I
Tony
see
know,
Stark.
I know,
less-
but like
we see less of the water park than him in normal scenes. I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
we
Yeah,
see
but
less-
it's implied that he's there. Also, I have a question about this movie. What period of time does it take over?
it's in like
is it-
2013.
No,
No,
what
it's
span of time?
It goes from like late June till about the end of July. Maybe it takes
so about a month.
About like
Yeah.
4 weeks, I'd say.
And what are they doing? Do these people not have jobs?
Man, they're rich.
They got
Yeah, I
money.
assume Steve
This is their
Carell
summer.
Yeah,
The Steve Carell's got a beach house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He can do whatever the fuck he wants to, I'm sure.
they're summering.
Yeah, they're
I
doing
guess,
they're doing that northern fucking summer shit. They're going on holiday. They're just as bad as the Brits.
I don't know about that.
I guess Tony Collette kind of she kind of quickly signed up for Carell's lifestyle. What's his name in the movie?
Trent.
Trent, yeah. So
Well, they've been together for a year when they go. They're right at about a year.
Right.
But it does sound like she kind of went balls deep. Again, shout out to my mother. My mother did this too. And it's mad uncomfortable whenever you are brought into a situation. She only has done this a couple times, but when you're brought into a situation with a man you've never fucking really met, and you're immediately brought into a family dynamic. And that's what this kind of has happened here. This is their first time really spending time together as a family. And like I said, speaking from experience, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is awkward most of the time, especially when you're dealing with people that are fucking dicks. So it's I understand a lot of his frustration. I resonate with it a lot because whenever that happened to me, like we would have to go spend like a week in the woods or something like that for camping. I'd go fucking that was the poor version of the beach house. I'd go find a fucking random area where I could be alone. And
did you have a tent at least, or was it just out raw dogging it?
Oh, we had a fucking camper. Like we had a shitty fifth wheel that everybody fit into somehow.
So are you saying that the only reason I don't like this movie as much as you guys is that my parents stayed together?
Yeah, maybe. But also because it's literally happens. Or my dad, right after my mom and him divorced, he was hanging out with this really fucking nasty bitch who invited us to their family's lake pool, and me and my brother and sister went, and it was kind of weird, and she was nasty. I don't even remember her name, but they were together for like a year or so. But like I ate good food. One of the fucking grandmas randomly made like 150 fucking tamales. So I fucked them
I like
up.
that you don't remember her name, but you remember the
That's
150
all I
tamales.
remember from that trip is eating tamales and like sitting around and just doing. I was like 18, but I was still just doing the bare minimum because
I thought you were like 8 or something.
No. My parents, they had their issues, but my mom didn't file for divorce for a while until I was in high school. But it was awkward. But I'm sure she would love to hear me talking about her divorce on a podcast. I hope she never.
Shout out to divorced parents.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I don't know. And even then, I was 18, but I just didn't know these people. I was just flung into the situation. I didn't really want to talk to these
fucking
people.
awkward, dude.
It's weird. It's
there's
like
years where it takes. Like my parents have both been married to their spouses now for a while. It took me years to feel comfortable even being around their families because of the fact that you're like an outsider being brought into something that's been there forever. And like the thing about my actual families, like my blood families, we don't have reunions like that. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw any of my mother's parents, of my mother's family, and like my dad's family. We maybe get together once a year at the max. So being thrust into a situation where I'm not even seeing my own family, but now I'm forced to adopt another family that's completely different from me and doesn't know me and makes these first judgments, even though I'm a 14-year-old awkward kid who thinks he's badass by listening to My Chemical Romance and fucking telling the guy, tell my cousin like, oh yeah, you wouldn't know this. It's pretty fucking heavy. And it's like you embarrass yourself in these situations, even though you're trying to be, a part of people at the same time. It's just fucking hard. And whenever he's like laying on, like he leaves and he's just like waiting to come back in because he's waiting for the light to go off so he can go in after spending the day. I remember doing shit like that to just absolutely avoid any contact with my family. And it's like,
Those were the days, man.
yeah, man. I
mean,
resonate with this movie a lot.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to talk to people. I just want to fucking sit on Halo 3 and talk to Casher while we play fucking video games for
Or
like,
come to Briarwood and swim all day.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Hurst.
And have your brother call me a Mexican and other fucking bad shit.
You kind of look like a Mexican.
That's whatever, dude.
Is that bad?
Also, here's the thing. The beach has always been alluring to me, and I like, despite any bullshit with this movie and the characters, it still gives me that like longing feeling about spending some summer with friends in like a beach town, getting lost and just fucking wasting the days away. I like that kind of stuff.
I'm not super beachy. You're way beachier.
I'm so beachy.
I'm
going to the beach in 2 weeks, baby. Taking my fucking family. Shout out to my family. They're all right. No, but yeah, it's
it'll be fun though, man. I wish I could do a beach trip with my family. I think we're gonna try to do a cruise next year.
Look, it took a lot of. I can't fucking bullshit. I had to work overtime for weeks and weeks to make this work so I could take.
Well, that's fair. That's what I had to do for my mom's Mother's Day thing. I spent like fucking $700 that whole weekend.
Yeah, I hope to be in a job someday where I can not have to work overtime for a long ass time to do this. But right now, whatever.
We make it work.
Like, I do have my issues. There's a couple issues I have with the film. It's uneven in certain moments, and the cinematography is really fucking plain. That's my biggest beef.
Yeah, it does look like lower budget because
it does the job, when it has to. There's a couple shots like when he walks in and he's talking to his mother and she's in the mirror, but that's pretty standard shit. So yeah, that's probably my biggest beef is the cinematography.
The settings are all on point though. Yeah. Like everything from like the beach house vibe to the actual water park, the dingy ass. It's called Water Whiz. Yeah. It kind of sounds like the content of their pools.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about like just the dynamic, because he does find that father figure in Sam Rockwell's character. What was his character's name?
Owen,
yeah. So like he finds that in such a short amount of time. It's almost like he was like seeking that out. And there's that scene where he goes to the party with the buddy from next door that has the fucked up eye.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, they're standing out on the rooftop, and like, man, it's just so it gets so emotionally just like jarring that he's standing there talking about how his dad, or his Trent, called him a 3 and told him that his dad didn't want him and stuff. And it's like, man, I'll tell you what, as bad as, as shitty as my childhood growing up, if my stepdad or stepmom would have ever said that about my dad or my mom, they've been out.
Yeah, dude. That's the most brutal part of the movie, is how like Toni Collette's character is willing to like be blind about certain shit. Just because,
like the cheating.
Yeah, the cheating, but just all the ways that Trent talks to Duncan and stuff. It's just like
she gets mad at the Candyland thing.
That's about it, though.
That's
which would also be me. So I was kind of on Trent's side.
Well, she's already
that smirk off your fucking face.
Yeah, but it's like
it's full hereditary.
This was already after that big argument, like when Duncan's like, do something, mom. Like he's obviously cheating, like, because she's not going to do it. I guess because, it's mentioned, the stepsister mentions that Duncan and I don't remember Toni Collette's name, but he and her are like living in like a 1-bedroom apartment, so it's clear that she's wanting out of that life and is kind of stuck and is willing to put certain things aside, which really sucks, because how are you going to let some guy fucking call your kid a 3? Well, she was asleep, but still, like, that's not the first instance. Obviously, yeah. I'll beat the fuck out of that guy. I don't give a fuck. Like,
you think you could take Steve Carell? You think you could take 2013 Steve Carell?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd have a chance. Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's probably got that old man strength.
What old? He's not.
I bet he plays tennis.
Ooh, yeah. He might be one of those.
He probably has that backswing.
Steve Carell would fuck you up, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. It's just here. I gotta get serious, and as someone who's unfortunately had to look for a lot of father figures in people growing up, because my father was never around. uh, watching this film was extra special to me, and it really hit me close to home because I didn't. Some stuff takes years to process, I guess is what I'm saying. And when I first saw this as a teenager, when I was like 19, I got the allure of the beach, breaking out your shell and stuff. But like really the father figure stuff hit me like a brick this time emotionally. And just a lot of the little things, especially the moment I didn't expect, I got an emotional response out of me. It was, I never really just paid attention to, is when Duncan finally runs to the water park to spend one last time with Owen and
to get in front of him, the whole legendary.
Yeah, but they come down the slide and all that, but Tony Collette's like, what's going on? What is all this? And then Trent walks up and he's like, okay, can we leave now? And immediately Owen says, oh, you must be Trent, and steps in between Duncan and Trent, just instinctively like steps in between them. It's like very like protective, but it's so casual that it just like, I don't know. He's a good character and I really like him. And
yeah, Owen's the shit. I love that role. It's one of my favorites he's ever done.
Such a very small but powerful thing to do at the end. It's just like, yep.
Is he a good father figure? Is he a
yeah. And like
so? Positive influence?
He grows alongside Pop and Lock during the whole
fucking
thing.
He opened Pop and Lock. That's I have a problem with that scene.
I love that scene, dude.
The DJ scene is the worst scene in the movie.
I love it. I think it's fucking charming.
It takes me out so hard.
Why?
When have you been to a water park?
You're a dork.
And see people break dancing on.
Did you not see us b-boying at Briarwood all the time?
No.
Scott just doesn't understand poor people.
I don't. Is poor people? They don't go to the water park to break dance. They do it.
Yeah, we do. No, they found fucking cardboard boxes at the water park. Look up any badass b-boy troupe.
But they're in the water park. They had to pay to get in the water park.
Maybe they don't.
Yeah,
pay.
but they probably have season passes, dude.
Yeah, like your parents.
I've never bought a season pass.
Why?
I don't have season pass money.
Places like that, it's like $40.
It's like, yeah, I was gonna say it's similar to the water park I have here in the good old Fort Smith, which is $70 for the summer.
Wizzy World, $70 for a summer. That's pretty.
It's pretty cool. But no, it's not like it's a high end water park. This is some shitty rinky dink. If you ever change it, we got nuclear bombs to destroy it type place, you know. So it's like, it's where poor people hang out, man. That would be my daycare for the summer.
Yeah, but
$70.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying, I've never seen.
I know it doesn't seem realistic to you, Scott, but what if this happened, something similar happened to one of these writers? Well, let's think, what if it happened? I can see it happen more in like the 80s. Maybe this guy.
That's the thing. I think that's my problem, is that it's allegedly set in the modern day.
Well,
and in 2013,
there's a lot of like
in Massachusetts.
Like Massachusetts beach towns are kind of stuck in the 80s.
Are they? Have you been there?
Yeah. Well, I watch a lot of travel shows.
Okay.
Seriously, if you go watch like these travel shows where they go to like the like northeastern beach towns, a lot of those are like old school ass fucking towns. Like they're smaller. It's not super densely populated. It's a lot of shit's the same as it's been for fucking.
Yeah, they kind of get
years.
stuck back. Well, it's also the same thing.
They're all Republican.
Napoleon Dynamite. It's like almost like anachronistic at times. I don't know.
It is. This isn't as anachronistic. I think Napoleon's a much better nerd character than this Duncan kid.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, it's a good scene to break out of his shell in. He starts dancing. I could see that being
I
something
understand. It still
one of
feels
the writers
prescriptive.
might have experienced. Who knows? But
why don't you call up Jim Rash? The
Yeah, let's get Jim Rash.
Let me
award-winning
DM Jim Rash.
I think that's
Be like,
less
why did you
important.
put that scene in here?
What's more important is fucking Owen's character. And obviously he sees Duncan. He probably sees some of himself in Duncan, obviously.
He talks about that.
Yeah, he makes the best. He's making the best of his situation. Obviously, he didn't want to get tied down in a water park. And,
Well, it's like even Maya Rudolph
back.
was like, I stayed here for like I said, they're growing together because at the beginning of the movie, he's nothing but just like absurdist fucking jokes. And then all of a sudden Maya Rudolph gets fucking tired of it. And that's like I think both of their main reasons for even staying there. I mean, hers is definitely him, but
Yeah, so are they together or is it like an off again, on again thing?
it's an off again, on again thing.
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
is for
think.
sure.
I think
She
they end up
definitely
together.
stayed around for him, and now here's the thing. I'm going to go out on a very, very short limb here and say that his constant joking and jokes are because he's fucking depressed. So when you're that
It's a coping mechanism of some sort, obviously. Yeah, that's
He
a
doesn't
very
get all
short
that-
limb.
It does present him as like almost like a front of being like this cool guy type shit. But as soon as the first person he latches onto immediately is a kid in the movie, and like people who do that, well, they're either pedophiles.
no, he sees some of himself.
I know he's not a
fucking
pedophile; it's a
guy.
joke. But he sees himself in that kid, and he's trying to make sure the kid doesn't make the same sort of shit that he does, or at least break out of the shell like he does, but do better with it almost.
Yeah, I bet if Owen, if he had to break out of his shell at one point, and now he's so vibrant and colorful and always making jokes and talking, and he's friends with all the kids at the theme park or at the water park, and he's avoiding all of the shit he needs to be doing. I identify with that, obviously, because
I know it doesn't say it. I also feel like he may have that water park may be his.
Yeah, no, it is. I think
Okay,
it was. I think it was left to him in some sort of.
That's what I was thinking. So like
Yeah.
he's got attachment to it, and he's always going to be attached to it.
Yeah.
All right, I just tweeted Nat Faxton, so we'll see if he responds
Man.
in the next 30 minutes.
Why the fuck did you put that in here? Do Jim Rash too, just to take care
No,
of
I
it.
can't find his Twitter.
Maybe he doesn't have one. I don't
He
know.
may not have one.
It's
You would
just-
think Dean Pelton has a fucking Twitter.
the more I get older, the more I try to rationalize settling for certain things, living wise and dreams wise, and it's hard to accept these kind of things, and you can be in denial about it. So obviously, that's where he is. So make the best of it, but also sometimes you just have to confront your bullshit and get it over with. Like when he actually wakes up early and sets shit up. And Maya Rudolph was like surprised. I don't know. I just like him a lot. And
I agree.
I don't know.
Sam Rockwell brought out his best because he's a charming motherfucker. And Owen is definitely someone I would kick it with. Like, I think all the water park characters are people I'd get along with.
Well, I don't know. that one lifeguard is a fucking weirdo pervert.
Holding.
Dude,
That's
maybe
Nat
a
Faxton.
hold.
That's who I just tweeted.
Yeah.
that
We're gonna
seems
go
fucking
hold.
weird.
Yeah, just go ahead and take a minute and hold right
It
there.
would be less weird if that character didn't look 40, if he was like,
and the other
18 or
character
19.
looked 17, like or
Yeah.
whatever. It's
That's also like a very like 80s attitude kind of
that's a
thing.
very 80s attitude.
Telling you,
And
man.
it's definitely not a 2020s attitude.
Well, do
Post-
they
uh,
use
do.
cell phones in this movie at all?
He's got his like iPod.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
fair
his
enough.
earbuds
That's
and
the only one
stuff.
that gave away the time for me is because I saw him with the earbuds in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're always like, "Where were you?" Like he doesn't have a cell phone or something.
I don't
or
think he does have
he-
a cell phone.
Yeah, or he
I
just turns
didn't-
on silent.
I didn't get a cell phone till I was 14. Well, I had
Yeah.
like a pay-as-you-go thing in like 8th grade, but I didn't.
Yeah, I
have,
was
like,
about to say you have a burner phone for
Yeah.
or whatever.
I didn't have
got
like
two
a. I wasn't on a plan until I was 14. So
No, yeah. You had one that was like texts and emergencies. Only.
yeah. Man, I used to sit upstairs and fucking watch Cartoon Network all day until my friends would come to the pool. Man, those were the days. But my pool's gone. So obviously, I don't know. Part of that probably factors into my emotional response to this movie too. Everything in my hometown has changed. I don't really have an attachment to it anymore because everything's gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the way that Trampled by Turtles song fucking comes
It's
in.
one of my favorite fucking songs ever, and I fucking forgot it was in this movie. And as soon as it popped up, like I immediately was like, "Oh shit!" I got really excited. Shout out Trample by Turtles. Give me free tickets.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
say, according to this Tribeca film article, I'm really stuck on this. Liam James, who plays Duncan, did say he had done a tiny bit of breakdancing once, but didn't love it. So, but I don't know.
They
if
could
that
have
was
been
out of
fucking
line
with
for
him. They
us.
could have been like, "Fuck it, you did a little bit. We're gonna pop you in there,"
Yeah.
which would be fun. I don't know. I hate and like the ending of this. It's like a happy ending, but it's not. Like he's still going back to being in this, but he has like better coping mechanisms.
There's small victories. Small victories
Yeah.
are important in life.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happens after. Maybe after
He gets
I don't
murdered
know.
by Trent.
No, Tony.
Trent kills his mom and fucking Duncan and murders suicide.
Tony Collette going to the back means she's standing by her son and she's standing up for herself too. I'm sure.
and maybe
once they
the
get
next time
back-
Trent cheats, she'll be like, "No go, Steve Carell."
Oh no! Once they get back, she's just gonna.
It's hard to not
I'll
want to
go.
cheat on your wife with Amanda fucking Pete, though. She's fun as fuck.
She reminds me of a lot of moms of like friends of parents that I've known. So it was kind of sexy in that way. I
Judy
guess.
Bass.
Man, okay, let's not talk about that kind of stuff. I don't know.
I did like that like I said, the cast is pretty special because I forgot Rob Corddry was in this too.
Yeah,
That was like peak. That was like right at the time that Rob Corddry was becoming popular.
fucking children's hospital shit.
Well, it's like Hot Tub Time Machine came out.
Yeah,
that time
yeah,
too,
but yeah.
and like Warm
I love
Bodies. He
Children's
was in a
Hospital.
shit ton of stuff, like right around that time. This was kind of like the start of that. God,
He plays a pretty serious role. He's a bit of a the one thing I do appreciate about this movie is rewatching it is a lot of times, like you said. I mean, I was just reminded of one time I was 14 or so couldn't drive. I was at a friend's house with me and my friend and some other chick who was like in my health class or something I had never really talked to, and all the moms were drunk playing Rock Band real obnoxiously. And how awkward that feels as a kid, and how you feel like a grown up in that situation.
It sucks so bad.
So weird.
Anytime I had my mom would let me bring a friend over whenever they were like getting fucked up with their friends. And I remember one time I think it was Josh Watkins came over to my house, and like my mom was being fucking on one, just we were doing Rock Band. And she just like would grab the microphone or the guitar out of someone and start playing like real shitty. And Josh would get really fucking mad.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
a lot of things that-
it's
Yeah,
awkward.
this movie
shit
doesn't
like
have
that.
enough Rock Band.
That
Yeah.
movie is filled with awkward moments like that, and some people
The
I get-
breakdancing would have been more realistic if it was Rock Band.
Some people can't
Like-
handle that shit.
Was it Anna Sophia Robb's character that was just like, this is like spring break for adults, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, Anna Sophia Robb, man, I forgot she's in this too. She's
Yeah, she
fucking
hasn't really
cool.
done much, has she? Since
She's done a lot more. I was just recently looking up. She's being a lot more recently soon.
'cause I remember
she's
she was in a
got-
lot of like kids movies when I was a kid. Like, was she in Winn-Dixie or was that someone else?
I don't know.
Uh,
What about
she
Bridget
was in
Terabithia? Was
Bridget
that her?
Terabithia.
Yeah,
that's the
Bridget
one I remember.
Terabithia. Funny thing about that is
I think
that
it was Winn-Dixie too.
I had read Bridget Terabithia, so I knew what happened in the movie, but I didn't know my sister was gonna rent that movie when she was like 8 years old. And so I didn't know, because when she was 8, I was 16. I was always with Casher and Aaron doing shit and Matt Prine. And so I was not in the house much that summer. And so she watched Bridget Terabithia and like it fucked her whole week up. And she's
fucking
kind of
hate
like
that.
traumatized by that.
But yeah,
Maybe
that
we
was
should
like,
have her on to talk about Bridget Terabithia.
well, it's like this. He gets his summer romance too, which I like in this movie. He
Yeah,
gets a
it's-
little summer romance.
It's and it's realistic because
super-
it's just
yeah.
talking here and there. It's nothing serious.
He goes in for that kiss, and then she like backs away, and then
Yeah.
later he gets all upset and runs away. But then like later in the movie, she goes, "I was just startled," and fucking plants went on him, and you're just like, "Yes, yes."
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes,
it's
yes,
like-
yes."
There could have been a little more development there between them, but it probably would have bogged it down. That's why they just did like a little montage. Where they
Yeah,
walk
I mean, it was
around.
only like,
And
like
she, she spends the whole day with him while he works. That's pretty cool, And you think about those like girls growing up in the past that you may have like met for like a day or two, you would have crushed on, and then you never saw them again. That's a thing that happens, and
Story of
I
my
think
life.
about that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like that episode of Malcolm in the Middle where they're stuck in
Yeah, one of the
traffic.
best
One of the
episodes.
best episodes of the
Yeah, when
series.
they're in the traffic and he fucking hangs out with her all day.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's
he
the
never
shit.
sees her again. Man, that pulls in my heartstrings. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
You know
I like
me,
that
I'm a
shit
coming of age
lot. I'm
boy,
a sucker for
but
it.
it does, the movie does just enough right for me to really have a place in my heart, especially with Owen's character. I don't know. I like
And I
that
think
a
it's
lot.
the perfect start of the summer series just because this is like the most summery setting really for like a lot of people. It's the most realistic summer setting for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
So
there's no crazy party. We've all been to a water park. There's no
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like MTV spring break stuff that's filmed a lot, but the majority of people never really have that bacchanalian of an experience,
Yeah,
which
well,
is
it's
probably
like-
for the best.
Yeah, it's probably
There's
for the best.
this-
Probably don't want to go to Miami.
Yeah, dude.
When I was really, really young,
tetanus.
we had a lake house on one of the Great Lakes that looked extremely similar to this town. So like it brought back a lot of memories and stuff. I love that your shirt keeps disappearing, Scott.
I love it. I'm trying to get it to where
Crack.
it's just my head.
It's cracking me up.
I'm really trying. I'm really, because I can get it kind of where like one arm is gone, but I'm trying to get it. It was there for a second when you said that, where it was like just a floating.
Yeah,
head.
it was just
That's what I'm trying to get a Zordon look.
Yeah, well, for the Halloween special this past year, I put the green screen around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Nice.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
setting, like all that stuff. It's not like because like there's like a
Maybe
few different
Yankees.
settings that just like ring nostalgia for me for the summer.
Sure.
And one's like suburban neighborhoods or trailer parks type shit. The other's like shitty camping spots, like real shitty campground spots. And there's this, which is like when I was really young, between like probably like till I was like about 8-9 years old, we would go up to the Great Lakes and it looked just like this.
Oh my God. I just remembered in middle school, I would go camping in an RV with Hunter White's family and to the lake. I think it was Sugarloaf, which is a pretty good lake actually. There's
Shitty
a
name
lot,
for town.
a lot of cliffs for diving and stuff, but I remember I don't know if I should tell this on.
Go for it.
Can you edit it out later?
No, it's okay. I mean, it's embarrassing to me, but I was
Okay.
I was like a 13-year-old kid.
Do it,
And-
pussy.
Okay. Well, Hunter White had a very attractive older sister,
Oh yeah, he did.
and she brought her friend one time, and they were both, in bikinis the whole trip. And at 13, your mind is you can't stop thinking about
Perpetually in the gutter.
It's fucked up, dude. And I remember we were swimming in the lake, like we had jumped off of the boat because we were close enough to shore to where it wasn't a big deal. But it was getting dark. It was like dark. So they're like, okay, we gotta go in soon. And but then I didn't oh man, it was dark. Okay. It was dark in the lake. And like we were like far enough from shore to where it would take probably like 5 minutes to swim to get back to shore. And I was like hit with a gut punch. Oh shit, I have to shit so bad. And I'm a 13-year-old kid. I'm like, okay, I'm going to shit my fucking pants. I'm not going to make it back all the way to the trailer. That's going to take like 10 minutes. And so Hunter and I are just in the water, and I just like, it's in the dark. So I fucking pull my fucking pants down and I fucking take a shit. But then right as I'm taking a shit, Hunter's sister and her friend fucking splash up to us and start talking to us in the middle of mid shit. And I'm like having to talk to them and pretend like everything's cool. And like these girls' titties are glistening and stuff. And my mind just like shuts down, and I like stop talking while I finish taking a shit. And I never told anybody until now. But it was
And they
in the
didn't
dark.
notice.
No, it was in the dark. I'm sure it floated up, but fuck it.
You should tag Hunter White in this podcast.
I don't know why I did
That's
that.
funny as fuck.
It's so weird.
That's beautiful.
It
That
was
should
like
be a
it was
movie.
like an emergency situation. It was like
No, I get it.
I don't.
DEFCON 1.
I've had 2 of those situations in my life. The first one was at church camp and when I was 8, and boy, let me just tell that one too.
We just telling shit stories.
Let me just tell that
All
one.
my
real
shit
quick.
stories are when I'm fucking an adult, so I'm not telling mine.
Okay, well, don't tell your. Oh shit. Okay. I sharted one time at Popeyes when I was 18, but that's a whole different thing. When I was 8, this is the worst one. We were at church camp, and there was like, they take you around and they do activity. There's like the cabins.
It's Castle Bluff.
No.
Okay.
This was somewhere else. I don't really know. This was with First Baptist Church, I guess. But so there's you got all the cabins where all the boys stay, and then you go down the trail, and then if you go down the trail, there's the pool, which has its own bathroom, and then you keep going down the trail, you come into this like this woods area where they have like archery, and then they have like a zip line, and like they have all these different activities you can do in this camp area. But it's like a 10-minute walk back to the what's it called, the cabins. Well, we're doing archery, which I fucking suck at. I don't understand how you fucking do archery, especially if you're 8 years old. It's fucking stupid. And I have to take the worst fucking shit of my life ever. Like, to this day, I've never had to take a worse shit. It was like the most emergency shit ever. Horrendous. Like, I thought I was going to fucking explode. And so I tell them I tell them what I have to do. And he says, okay, we'll go to the fucking, go to the pool and use the bathroom up there, because that's only like a 2-minute walk. I'm like waddling there in like the summer heat, like barely make it. And the pool's fucking locked. It's closed. I'm like, fuck, I can't hold it. So I go underneath a tree next to it, pull my pants down and shit on the tree. And I'm pretty sure at least 2 of the camp counselors watched me fucking pull my ass out and shit onto a tree.
Did they see you, or did they sit and watch you?
No, I think they saw from a distance, like, way far away.
Yeah.
And they were probably like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. But that was just like the first, like, I shit probably this is really gross. I'm sorry for it.
We're really spending a lot of time on this.
It was massive on this tree, but that was only like the first like third. And then I was like, okay, that's enough to get me back to the campsite, which felt like a trek to fucking Mordor. But I finally made it, and it was the smelliest, gnarliest shit of my life. Took fucking like 20 minutes. But here's the kicker is little 8-year-old Sumner came into the room to look for me, to check on me, took one whiff and started gagging to the point that he started spitting up on the floor of our cabin, and had to like run out.
That's nasty.
And like he came back in after like I tried to spray it down, and he had like actual tears in his eyes. He had been crying from how horrible it was. And I bet he still remembers that to his day. That no one could go into that room for like hours. And anyway.
So,
summer series, summer shit.
We got anything else about the movie?
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, that's my shit stories.
So what's our plan for the summer series this year? We wanna discuss what else we're doing next. Or
Well, shit, I wish we could fucking talk about Stranger Things season 4, because that was the shit. But
running up that rail.
Yeah.
I still have to watch season 3. Here's the thing. Like you said, season 1 and 2, they're fun romps. I watched them when they came out. Right. Yada, yada. I thought it was overrated. After hearing you specifically talk about 3 and especially 4, I'm like, I already watched half the series. I might as well.
Here's the thing.
Why specifically him? I've been saying this shit. Why do you trust Kino more than me?
I don't remember you saying this stuff about season 3.
I was just saying that because I was a contrarian dick for a while about it.
Yeah.
I gave in.
And he still is.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I was like, fun, whatever. It's all right.
I told him to not watch. I told him he doesn't need to waste his time.
It's good, not great. First season, enjoyable, whatever.
It's peak now.
Season 3 hits. So I'm like, whoa, this is a very entertaining summer blockbuster kind of shit. It's like high quality, cool cosmic horror, body horror, gore shit that I didn't expect in a widely acclaimed series that 13-year-olds watch at all. Not expecting that. Really enjoyed season 3, and then season 4 comes out, and it's one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen so far, and I am shook to the core by
I can't wait.
how interested I am in it.
We've got 26 more days until the next one. I'm fucking counting down. I'm excited.
Boy. Fucking awesome.
I'm fucking stoked. It's been one of the more surprisingly constant shows that I've watched pretty much in my
Did they drop it? Are they dropping season 4 in 2 halves? Like
they dropped the first
half?
they've dropped the first 7 episodes,
and then in 26 days they're dropping the rest.
And then in July 1st they're dropping the last 2 episodes. But here's the thing, the last episode is 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and the first episode's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised Netflix. I guess they knew their subscribers were dropping and were like, we need to buff up Stranger Things.
No. This is all the Duffers doing what they want to do. Now,
yeah, it is
$30 million an episode.
That's insane.
But it shows the quality is there. And it's holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
There's all the plot lines are all very interesting and all very different in this season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just
because there's like 4 groups you follow, and they all have.
And
like,
the pacing is really well. Like the episode 7 we just watched last night was an hour 40, and it didn't feel like that at all.
I finished and I was like, "Where's
this is a feature-length fucking film," but it didn't feel like horror bogged down or anything. So yeah,
episode 4 of this season was hands down one of the best, probably the best episode of the entire series. So it's like, I can't wait to see what else they do with this.
All right. I'll get around to it. I'll get around to watching it.
Yeah, welcome to the summer series, everyone. Welcome
We're showing
back.
clothes this summer.
Oh man, maybe I'll do an episode on the beach.
Hey,
that'd be funny. But yeah, welcome back. I know like 15% of this episode was me talking about shit, but I'm glad y'all came through. We have a good lineup this year. I mean, I can name them off if we want.
Yeah, dude.
What are we doing?
Do you want to tease maybe just the next episode if we even know what
I'll
that
do
one
some
is?
Teasing. I like teasing. Never put it in at first.
I'll tease. I recorded with a former podcast guest for what's that movie? American the comic book one. Harvey with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, Robbie Sherman.
Yeah. Anyway, Robbie Sherman. I forget the name of the movie. I will be on the Conversations with Robbie Sherman podcast, which should debut around the same time as this.
Oh
podcast,
yeah. Oh, also he wanted to come on to do. He said, "Can I do a legacy pick for summer series?" I said, "Yeah, maybe if we find the time." He wants to do Kiki's Delivery Service, so we
always down for Ghibli.
Yeah,
I'll be down.
And so we'll be doing that as well as kids.
Is that the next one we're doing?
I'm not sure yet, but in the bedroom, Barb and Star, whatever Vista Del Mar or whatever that movie.
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Yeah.
A sleeper hit, bro.
There are 2 patrician picks by the Kino Cowboy, A Brighter Summer Day and Picnic at Rock. And then Super Bad.
Was that a joke or was that an accident?
Super Bads, which is my favorite coming of age movie of all time, which is barely counts because it's like right as summer's starting, almost like last week of school, but you know. And then Super 8. So we're getting into it, boys. Look forward to the summer
Super
series.
Bid.
Going all summer, relaxing, cooling, booling, you know, whatever. Pooling. I'm gonna be hitting the pool probably after this, unless we want to play that new season of Fortnite, you know, whatever. But yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. See you this summer.